So, but I remember going into the city and not seeing my name on the marquee. It's like, no, y'all got to put my name on the marquee. Well, Tom Jones is here next week. Take his name down. You got to put my name on if I'm performing tonight. And they thought, this nigga's arrogant. He's crazy. What I was doing was building a brand. I wanted people to remember the name. Name had to be on the ticket. I wanted them to remember the name. Wasn't that I was trying to be arrogant. I'm trying to build a brand. You don't see Coca-Cola walking around and say, don't put Coca-Cola on that. We're building a brand. Right.
With the brand and with the name.
So with that, with ownership, and then watching Oprah and realize that she owned her show, I was like, okay, I'm not selling anything. I'm gonna own everything.
When you say you watched Oprah do it, is this you as just a student?
A student, I didn't know
fan.
her. Yeah, as a fan.
Holy shit.
I remember reading an article about her owning her show, and I was like, what did that mean? Because she had renegotiated her show with, I think it was King World, where she had gotten ownership. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And then I'm like, well, how is she making all this money? Oh, because she owns it and because of syndication? She might get mad I say this, so I'm just gonna tell you. She sometimes she said, you know, there were times I was getting checks that I thought were Social Security numbers. They were so big, you know what I mean?
By the way,
yeah.
yes, I believe it.
Yes, right?
And yes, that's information that needs to be given, because the shock factor.
Yes. Now, being friends now is incredible because I can call her up at this point in her career and life, and we really lean on each other for a lot of things. I was like, hey, this, and this is going on, and this, oh, I went through that in '86, here's what you do. You know, having that kind of information, right? Or calling up recently and saying, hey, you know, there's something going on with the studio where it's what they're trying to get me to do is huge, and it's kind of wild and it's amazing. She's like, you know, I think you should do it because I did this, this, and this. And it seems like the new version of this, this, and this.
The thing that also acts as an intriguing factor for me with you is it just keeps progressing, right? And we're coming from the world of plays, we're coming from the world of sold out shows and the opportunity that comes after. I find out now that you took the meetings, and after taking the meetings, you figure out the best thing that works for you.
Well, I'll tell you what happened with that real quick. I went to all these different meetings. They were like, we want to change this. They were talking about Diary of a Mad Black. I was like, I'm not changing anything. We want to change this. You got to add this to the script. This. I'm like, but you're white. You don't understand. This is what the audience wants to see.
So you were taking the material to them.
Yes.
At the time. Okay.
To a couple of studios. Okay. And it just didn't work. So I called Charles. And said, you know, I'm out, going to Atlanta, selling it out of my trunk, and I get a call from Mike Pasternak over at Lionsgate. And the reason he said, call me is two things happen. That's why I love when we come together on the same page. He was leaving a show, and I had just played the Kodak Theater, and the black people crowding around trying to get to their cars, and he goes, hey, what'd you guys see tonight? They go, Tyler Perry. He had never heard of me, right? So he goes to the office the next day, right? He goes to the studio at Lionsgate, and he has a meeting with D.L. Hughley. Mm-hmm. And he says, hey, man, have you ever heard this guy, Tyler Perry? And D.L. was like, man, this guy's huge, all over the country. I get a phone call saying, hey, Tyler, he came, he wanted to do this movie. What do we have to do? I said to them, I was so pissed. I said, listen, I'll put up half the money. I'm going to own 100% of it, and that's it. And Charles called me back and said, Tyler, they're never going to do that. I said, well, shit, I don't care. Called me back and said, they're going to do it.